Okay, so part of my long wearing makeup routine, I use Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade Warm Vanilla. This foundation is an OG and I swear it lasts the entire day. It does not budge at all. I've been to sporting day events for the kids at school. I've been caught out in the rain. I've worked out on my treadmill and it has stayed all day looking exactly the same. If Double Wear is not part of your budget, another foundation that's awesome is the Maybelline LUMI Matte Foundation. That one's another one that rivals also the Double Wear. You can build it up to a medium coverage and it will stay there all day looking beautiful. So with the Double Wear, you only need one pump. Start putting it on. You can build this one up. I don't want to go ham when I do my first one. It's all about building it up slowly, putting it up in thin layers. That's the trick. The beauty about this foundation is it looks like skin and it's not a heavy matte foundation. And it looks great on mature skin as well. I find it doesn't settle into fine lines. With this one, I like to stipple. I really like to get it into the skin. This also has a little bit of sunscreen in it as well. It has SPF 10, which is not much, so you still need to put your sunscreen on underneath. I find if you have a dry skin, it's really great to prep your skin prior to just putting it on. Like I put on my moisturizer and my eye cream, and your skin should still stay hydrated throughout the day. But it is all about the skin prep prior to putting your foundation on. Foundation is done. I only just use one pump and I start off with a really thin layer. I don't want my makeup to look heavy and cakey. Prior to using concealer, I've been using the BOBBI Brown, and this is in the shade Bisque. So you only need to put a little bit here in the corner. I just find that when I'm tired and I've got the dark circles under my eyes, this is a lifesaver, this one here. And the packaging is so satisfying. Oh, I love that sound. Once again, I like to use my fingers to apply my under eye products. I just find the warmth from my fingers gets it right in there. A HY-GLAM concealer in the shade N2. And I'll show you the doe. And this is the doe foot here, slightly curved. The secret to this concealer is less is more. Because it is quite brightening, you only need a tiny, tiny bit. And I find I have to use that color corrector with this concealer because it is so brightening that I actually found it was emphasizing my bags and my wrinkles under my eyes rather than concealing them. So that was quite a learning curve for me. Pressing it into the skin. I'm purposely bringing it up on my eyelids as well, so it will help set my concealer later on and will allow my eyeshadow to stay on a lot longer also. What a difference that has made. I tell you what, I really needed this concealer. Today's contour will be courtesy of Rare Beauty's contour stick in the shade Bright Side. Now this one here is awesome for fair skin. As you can see, it's just a gentle neutral cool tone and it is ideal for fair skin. Just pop a bit there. This contour stick is so easy to blend, you cannot go wrong with this one. So if you watch, it just disappears into the skin. Just stippling it in. Look at that. I'm barely doing anything here. It's blending itself. Bringing it up around here. Look how gentle it is. I've really got to rub it into the forehead here. And then once again pinching and just blending in the nose contour. It's a breeze to use. Now to set this contour so it will stay in place all day, I'm going to be using my KOSAS bronzer in the shade The Sun Show. This one here is absolutely gorgeous. It has this really gorgeous glow to it. Look at that. It's very subtle and it has a bit of a luminosity to it as well. It's beautiful on mature skin, particularly if you're using a foundation that is quite matte like the Double Wear. I find that putting layers of products on top that are a little bit luminous helps lift the skin so it's not looking so dull. This is my everyday bronzer. See, it just goes on so naturally. It's not overly warm. Okay, so now it's time to set my under eyes because the concealer, it has dried down a little bit. Now I'm going to be using one of my new favorite loose powders that is affordable. So this one here is the Maybelline Fit Me in light medium. It's mattifying that under eye bag. Now I've got to put a little bit more color on the face. So today for my blush, I'm going to be using one of my new affordable favorites. It is the LUMI Liquid Blush in the shade Glowy True Rose. This is a beautiful rose gold color, so flattering on the skin. So I'll probably start with 3 dots today. I'm feeling like I need a little bit more color on the cheeks, so we'll do 3 dots. I've got my Rare Beauty brush, blending it in. Look, it just creates this beautiful luminosity on the cheek. It's just a really subtle shimmer. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that glow. Okay, so now I'm going to set that liquid blush. Today I have Milani blush in Dolce Pink. And once again, this one has that luminosity to it as well, quite similar to the liquid blush that I just put on. I'll just swatch it for you. See how gorgeous that is? It just has this gentle shimmer in the light without any heavy glitters. It doesn't come out too pigmented. This is one that you can build up. Look at that. The colour really complements the L'Oreal Lumi liquid blush. I might bring a little bit up on my eyes as well. This creates more of a cohesive look. Okay, so now the base is done. You wouldn't really need to add an illuminizer with this. Like these 2 products here are glowy enough. However, I will be adding one today. I have the RMS Redimension Hydra Glow Luminizer. My gosh, that was such a mouthful. And this is in the shade Prosecco Fizz. So I'm just going to add, just using a fan brush. Doesn't emphasize texture and it's such a gentle glow on the skin. I'm just going back into the Fit Me loose powder and I'm just going to set my eyes. I've already got the concealer on there. This will help the eyeshadow last longer, especially if you don't have an eyeshadow primer. So my eyeshadow palette that I'll be using today is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. This palette is a beautiful neutral palette, and Natasha Denona's eyeshadows are beautiful on mature eyelids as well. And I find her formulations, they stay on all day. My soft shadower brush by Mega Max. I'm going into the colour Flesh. I just want this to be a nice, natural, everyday look. Natasha Denona's matte shades just blend beautifully. Now using a Mega Max flat shadower brush, I'm going into the shade Nubia. This is more of a cool toned brown. There's no heavy glitters in this. It's just a very subtle shimmer. Using a Mega Max Eye Intensifier brush, going in with the shade Area, which is a neutral matte brown. And then just blending in to add a bit more dimension to the look. Just blending, just concentrating it along in a V sort of shape. These mattes can be quite pigmented, so it's a good idea to go in with a softer hand and just gradually build it up. Just blending to create a bit more depth. It wouldn't be me if I didn't add a topper shade in. I do always like a little bit of shimmer in the middle of my eye. My favourite topper shade in this palette, this is Fizzy. Look how pretty. That's such a beautiful topper shade. It is okay to add a little bit of shimmer, even on mature eyelids, just a slight little bit in the middle. Look at that, it just adds a little bit dimension to my eyelid and brightens the overall look. Okay, so now I'm going to add in a little inner corner highlight with the shade Nubia. Look at that, that's like the perfect inner corner highlight. Creating some definition under the eyes, I'm going in with the colour Flesh. This is the colour we started off with in the crease. If you wanted to build up the look underneath your eyes a little bit more than I have, you could go in on top with the shade Area as well, which will create a little bit more depth under the eyes. However, this is an everyday look, so I'm going to keep it a little bit more simple. Now for eyeliner, I thought I'd make it a bit more fun today. I'm going to use a navy eyeliner, which I think will create a little bit of contrast with the gold. My Sephora 12-hour eyeliner, because this one here will stay on all day. This is it here swatched. It's just a subtle navy color with a slight shimmer in there. As you can see, this is not going anywhere. I just like to create a little bit of a contrast against the gold. And I'm wearing navy today, so I thought, why not? Why not match what I'm wearing? I tend to wear a lot of navy. Seems to be my go-to color, especially when I'm at work. Now using my angle brush by Nude by Nature and just gently pulling out into a wing. Just creating a subtle wing. And then using the tip of the pencil, I like to smudge the line in so it's a little bit more subtle. We don't want any harsh lines. I don't want any harsh lines. I want it to be a little bit more subtle. Another trick you can do if you're worried about your eyeliner not staying on is to grab a darker colour, which I don't have any navy, but you can grab a darker colour and just stamp it on top of your eyeliner, just gently like this. And this will allow the eyeliner to stay on longer. Now for mascara, I have the Sky High by Maybelline, and this is in the shade Black. And it's waterproof, so this will help it stay on a lot longer. And once again, it's that formula that doesn't clump. I love this kind of formula. I also like to do my bottom lashes. And with this formula, it is not going to smudge. Today I'm using Benefit Precisely My Brow in the shade 3.5. This colour's perfect. It's almost like an ashy brown colour. It goes perfectly with my brows. But on top, the Fluff Up Brow Wax by Benefit. So just brushing them upwards, just to try and create a bit of a fluffy brow. Okay, brows are laminated in place. They are not going anywhere. Look at this lip combo. I love these three products together. They complement each other beautifully, and your lipstick is going to stay all day, no matter what. You can drink and eat as much as you want. This is not going anywhere. For this lip combo, I'm going in with Line Lifter in the shade Line Leader. I'm wiping the liner all over my lips, so it will ensure that my lip product will stay on a lot longer. This is Superstay Vinyl Ink in the shade Peachy. It smells like vanilla. And swatching it for you, it's just a pretty neutral peachy colour. Hence its name Peachy. This colour is the most perfect everyday colour. This already has quite a shine to it, but I want to add a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with the Plump Ambition Hydrolon Lip Oil in the shade Worth It. It just adds a little bit more of a shine. I love to have a shiny lip. Okay, makeup is done, but now I'm going to use a setting spray. I've got the Milani Make It Last, and this is to ensure that what we've done here will stay in place all day. So just holding it back probably about here, and it's actually really refreshing. I've just got to let it dry a little bit. There we are, and that's the final look. Comment down below and let me know what you think. We have a long wear looking makeup that's not caked on and looks natural and beautiful in person as well. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and clicking the thumbs up button. And I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye.